Sophie had always been a high achiever. She had graduated from one of the top universities in the country with a first-class degree in business and had landed a prestigious job at a well-known consulting firm straight out of college. Sophie loved her job and worked hard, putting in long hours and going above and beyond to meet her targets. But one day, Sophie was given a project that she just couldn't crack. It was a difficult assignment that required her to analyze the financial performance of a struggling retail chain and come up with a strategy to turn things around. Sophie had never encountered a project quite like this before, and despite her best efforts, she just couldn't seem to make any headway. Weeks went by, and Sophie's frustration grew. She worked late into the night, poring over financial reports and crunching numbers, but nothing seemed to make sense. Her boss, a stern woman named Lisa, grew increasingly impatient with Sophie's lack of progress, and Sophie could feel the pressure mounting. Finally, one day, Sophie hit a breaking point. She had been up until 3 a.m. the previous night working on the project, and had come up with what she thought was a brilliant solution. She presented her findings to Lisa, hoping for praise and recognition, but instead was met with a scowl. "This is all wrong," Lisa snapped. "You've completely misunderstood the problem. We can't use any of this." Sophie was devastated. She had never failed like this before, and the humiliation stung. She spent the rest of the day moping around the office, feeling sorry for herself and wondering where she had gone wrong. But the next day, something strange happened. Sophie woke up feeling renewed. She realized that she had been so focused on trying to find the right solution that she had lost sight of what was really important, the process of problem-solving itself. She had been so worried about impressing her boss and getting it right that she had forgotten to enjoy the challenge of the assignment. So Sophie took a deep breath and decided to approach the problem from a different angle. She went back to the drawing board, this time focusing on the process of problem-solving rather than the end result. She started collaborating more with her colleagues, bouncing ideas off of them and asking for their input. She looked for inspiration outside of work, reading books and attending conferences on business strategy, and she started to think more creatively, taking risks and trying out new approaches. It wasn't easy, and there were plenty of setbacks along the way. But slowly but surely, Sophie started to make progress. She found patterns in the financial data that she hadn't seen before and came up with innovative strategies for turning the retail chain around. And this time, when she presented her findings to Lisa, she was met with a smile. "Excellent work," Lisa said, nodding approvingly. "This is exactly what we need." Sophie felt a surge of pride and relief. She had learned an important lesson, that failure wasn't something to be feared or avoided, but rather something to embrace and learn from. By failing, she had been forced to reassess her approach and try new things, which ultimately led her to success. And as she looked around the bustling consulting firm, she realized that this lesson applied to more than just her own work. In the modern workplace, failure was inevitable, but it was also an opportunity to learn, grow, and ultimately achieve greater success. Sophie's experience with failure was not unique in the modern workplace. In fact, it was becoming increasingly common. The world of business was changing rapidly, and with it came new challenges and new risks. The traditional model of success, working hard, following the rules, and climbing the corporate ladder, was no longer enough.